Good afternoon. My name is Brother Larry.
And I'm Grace po, wife ni Larry.
It is finished. Naganap na. O sa ibang Tagalog, natapos na. Nahuman na sa Bisaya. Nalpasan sa Ilocano. Yari na sa Kapampangan. At konsumatong S sa Santang Latin. At sa Greek, tetelestai, meaning paid in full. Ito po ang ika-6 na salita ni Jesus bago siya nalagutan ng hininga. Tapos na. Mission accomplished. Isagawa na niya ang kanyang pinakamalaking service sa Diyos at sa sangkatauhan. Bilang isang servant ng Madonna at iba pang mga communities, ang madalas kong itanong sa aking sarili, tapos na ba ako sa aking mission na ibinigay ng Diyos? Ang laging sagot ko ay malakas at matunog na, hindi. No. Every time nagtatanong ako kung anong service ko kay Lord, sabi ko, member ako ng EMHC. Si Grace ay MBG. Coordinators kami ng Commission on Family. Member ako ng Ministry of Liturgical Music. Member ng Militia Immaculata, isang Marian group sa Loreto Church. Past member ako ng CFC San Sebastian Chapter at head ng isang Marriage Encounter Community. Ang dami po, no? Madalas, nakakalimutan ko sabihin ng pinakamahalaga kong service. Ang pagiging husband. Ang aking pagiging head of a domestic church. My family. Took me more or less 15 years before I realized ang kahalagahan ng pagganap ko ng maayos at tama sa most important covenant between me, Grace, and God.
Larry and I had been married for 27 years. The reason I gave my yes to him was because he had my trust. I remember telling him before we got married na wag niya ako lolokohin, kundi iiwan ko siya. I'm a product of ME, Marriage Encounter po. My parents were active members of the Marriage Encounter. So in the first few years of our marriage, we were invited to attend the weekend encounter. Wala pa po kaming malaking problema at the time kasi we were just beginning our family. I believe I was prepared for the battle. Larry used to work as a salesman or account officer po for a big kitchen equipment company. They had foreign principals, so they entertained them when they had visitors. So, meron po siyang pogi problems. Okay? The first few incidents, napapalampas pa po. But the biggest blow came in days before my 40th birthday. They say, life begins at 40. It was the death of our marriage. So, when he left, we had an encounter. So when he left the house. I closed the gate. I locked the doors. So I also locked the doors of my heart. We had a family tradition that during our birthdays, anniversaries, regardless what day it would fall, holiday po yun, or weekday, parang holiday po siya for us. So, we will spend the first hour attending the Mass as a Thanksgiving. So, on my 40th birthday, I went to Mass alone. Kasi nga po, he left the house. So, it was a difficult time for me. So, pag weekday Mass, nasa maliit na chapel lang po yung Mass. So, more or less than an hour, 30 minutes lang po yung Mass. So, after the Mass, I went to the main church. It was the church, if you're familiar with the Nature Church sa Mary Immaculate po sa Las Piñas, that was where we got married. So, after the Mass, so I went to the main church alone. Tapos, dun po sa church, parang when I entered the church, wala po yung walls, trunks lang yung mga seats niya. Meron pong nakapost sa harap. Ang nakalagay po dun sa harap, parang Bible verse na nakalagay po is, I will be your spouse forever. So, nung nabasa ko po yun, nadurog na po ako. I cried like a baby. So, dun sa church, main church, I was just alone. Hindi na po ako nakaupo sa trunks. Nandun lang po ako sa by the floor. So, that was my 40th birthday. I went, I gave Larry an experience of tough love for that period. So, 40th birthday ko po yun, we actually separated for 40 days. So, that was his quarantine. Hindi pa po uso yung ECQ, naka-quarantine na po si Larry. But that was my way. So, I also had my share of death. It was not easy. I had to die to myself. I almost surrendered, gave up on our relationship. But God is good. He gave us a support group. Yung marriage encounter community po that I mentioned earlier, they were there. Support po sila sa amin because we had been active in the marriage encounter group. So we had our titos and titas who we look up to. So they talk to us individually. Kinausap po si Larry, kinausap ako. What's our plan? Dun po sa nangyari. So, they found ways to, they arranged that we talk. So, nakapag-usap po kami and then we make amends. So, we had to do a lot of adjustments to make the marriage work. So, dito ko po na-realize na kaya pala walang divorce sa Catholics kasi we have to love our spouse the way Jesus did. He died for us on the cross. So, for spouses, husbands and wives, they do the same. They die to for each other. They die to themselves for the love of or for the good of their spouse. We talk, we compromise. So, after 40 days, from my birthday to Larry's birthday, it's estimated around 40 days po yun. So, we reconciled eventually. That was why we're here in front of you. For the words naman po that I mentioned earlier about the trust, nain ko po yun several times. Yun po yung sinabi ko na pag lulukohin mo ko, iwan kita. So, but I had no regrets. I lived by my promise, by my vow, to Larry, to God, during our wedding, yung sa marriage po namin. So, ang take ko lang po dun sa trust, medyo na-bent po siya, nasira po siya several times, pero para po yung kanta sa parokya ni Edgar, na parang yung tsokolate. Pag natunaw na siya, sabi ni Parod dun sa kanta, sa song ni parokya ni Edgar, hindi na po siya pareho ng dati, mag-iba na siya. Pero ang take ko po dun, yung tsokolate, matunaw man siya, mainitan, pag nilagay mo sa ref, pag nilagay mo sa freezer, when you get it again, iba na po yung itsura niya, iba na po yung form niya, hindi na siya yung sa selling form niya, hindi na siya maganda tignan. But when you open it, nandun pa yung aluminum, yung foil, ganyan, and you start eating it, you lick even the foil kasi masarap yung chocolate. Still the flavor, the taste, yung savor nung chocolate po the same pa din, hindi siya nababago. So it's the same with my trust with Larry. Nasira man siya, pero buo pa rin po siya, andun pa din. So that's my take po dun sa marriage po namin.
Ang pagtupad namin sa gawain ibinigay sa amin ng Panginoon ay hindi naging madali. At kami bilang pamilya ay dumaan nga at patuloy pa rin dumaraan sa pagsubok. We experience what we call our own passion, death, and resurrection sa buhay mag-asawa at pamilya. Ang maayos namin ang problema sa aming buhay, doon namin naramdaman ng gusto ang presensya ng Panginoon sa aming pamilya. I personally decided na maglingkod sa Panginoon sa abot ng aking makakaya. I remember na magsimba kami ni Grace, binulong ko sa kanya. Gusto kong maging lay minister. Sabay turok sa lay minister na sa harap ng sanctuary. Gusto ko yan. ang nakangiting wika ni Grace.
From then on po, lagi na po kami magkasama ni Larry mag-serve as a couple sa organizations, Couples for Christ, Marriage Encounter. Pero transparochial po kasi yung mga organizations na to. So we serve sa Quezon City for our Couples for Christ, sa Marriage Encounter naman po kung saan nakatira yung mga members namin. We go as far as Real sa Quezon, Pasig, Laguna. So, medyo, maski taga Cavite po kami. So, when we serve sa Couples for Christ naman po, sa Quezon City and then sa Manila, we serve sa Couples for Christ kasi po yung anak namin was a member of Youth for Christ. So, siya po yung naging entry point namin to be active sa Couples for Christ for around 3 to 4 years. After that po, we were given the opportunity to serve here in Madonna as coordinators for the Commission on Family. So si Larry po, lay minister, but si Father Rodel po invited us to be member, to help him dun po sa Commission on Family para po sa mga programa pampamilya. I was initially hesitant kasi hindi pa po kami nakakapag-serve sa isang parish or has never experienced serving in a parish. But this was an opening for us in terms of service. So we grabbed the opportunity, and with the support of Father Rodel, we were able to make it work. So nakapag-serve naman po kami, and we were able to offer yung Marian retreats with of course the help and support of Father Rodel. For the past year po, we've been doing it virtually because of the push, because of the need to do so, kasi hindi po tayo pwede mag face to face. And I've been very busy po in my work, but si Larry stepped up. So siya po yung naging active sa mga virtual meetings, virtual retreats, and nandito lang po ako sa tabi niya, supporting him, maski minsan wala po ako sa Zoom meetings, but I'm always beside him po, hindi lang nakaka-capture ng camera. And our son, hindi na po siya youth, but he's active in service SM feast sa Ora po. He's active in the music ministry. So, yan lang po.
Our main goal now as a husband and wife ay magampanan ng maayos at tama ang misyon namin sa buhay for greater glory of God. May bagay namin ang aming karanasan bilang mag-asawa sa mga nagnanais magpakasal during pre-K na seminar sa mga mag-asawa through Marriage Encounter Weekend. Ang pagpapalaganap namin ng Marian Devotion, hindi lang sa mga oldies, pati na rin sa mga millennials. Ang paglilingkod namin sa Madonna, Divino, Amore, Parish bilang servants, kami po ay very grateful dahil alam po namin na hindi lahat ng binibigay na pagkakataon na maglingkod. At hindi lahat ng gustong maglingkod ay nakapaglingkod. Brothers and sisters in Christ, noong pagtagumpayan ni Jesus ang kanyang misyon, marami siyang nakatulong. Kasama niya mahal na ina, ang kanyang amain na si San Jose, at ang mga disipulo niya. Sila din po yung ating mga kasama sa ating mga kasama at ating asawa, anak, ating pamilya, ang ating Madonna community, ang Madonna Parish community, at iba pang mga communities. Higit sa lahat, kasama natin ang Diyos upang maisatuparan ang ating misyon. Continue to pick up the pieces we left behind noong panahong kami ay dumadaan sa passion and death of our relationship. And now we want to have a strong finish. And be proud to say to our God, when we face Him, mission accomplished, boss. Uli, magandang hapon, and God bless.